Let's use the high-low method to analyze cost behavior of a mixed cost. Let's begin by looking at our data set. Our data set consists of maintenance cost and maintenance hours for 6 months, January through June. In applying or using our high-low method, we need to select two data points, the high level of activity and the low level of activity. Notice we select the activity levels, not the costs. Our high level of activity occurs in June with 800 maintenance hours and a maintenance cost of $9,800. The low level of activity occurs in the month of February with 500 maintenance hours and a total maintenance cost of $7,400. The next step then is to calculate the change in hours and the change in costs. We have a $300 change in hours, which is the 800 at the high level of activity minus the 500 at the low level of activity. And we have a $2,400 change in maintenance costs. We can now use the change in cost and the change in activity to calculate or estimate the variable component of our cost, which again is simply the slope of our line. The variable cost per hour will be $8, and that's equal to our change in cost of $2,400 divided by our 300 change in hours. Once we've estimated our variable cost component, we can use it to calculate the fixed cost. Recall, our total cost will have two components, a fixed and a variable cost. We can select one of our data points. It doesn't matter which one. We're going to go ahead and select the high level of activity. At the high level of activity, our total cost is $9,800, and that will equal our fixed cost, which we don't know, plus our variable cost component, which will be our 800 maintenance hours multiplied by $8 cost per hour. In solving for our fixed cost, we get a fixed cost component of $3,400. Our cost equation then for our maintenance cost is y equals $3,400 plus $8 times the number of maintenance hours, where $3,400 is our fixed component and $8 per maintenance hour is our variable cost component. As a last step, it's useful to check our calculations. We can do this by selecting the other data point. In this case, that's the low level of maintenance hours. We'll plug in what we know into our cost equation. Recall, our cost equation is $3,400 in fixed cost plus our variable component, which will be 500 hours, multiplied by our $8 per hour variable cost. We get a total cost of $7,400, which agrees with our cost data. So we know we've calculated our variable and fixed components of our cost equation correctly.